Bankless Nation is the last week of November. This is the week of Thanksgiving, so we're recording this on Wednesday, November 27th, in case we get some of the prices a little bit delayed for you. You're probably hearing it on Friday. In the United States, this would be Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, David. How you doing, man?
Good. I'm back home in Seattle, once again in the room that I discovered crypto in. It's always a little bit nostalgic to be back here. It was a different era back when I was assembling mining rigs in 2017.
You were just telling me that that's what you're doing, just like over to the right of you, over your shoulder.
Just to my right, yeah, just pulling my hair out, figuring out how to get 6 GPUs on the same computer to work.
Jeez, those were the days, huh? Yeah. That was hard when you had to actually like mine to get your crypto. You can't just like stake it.
You can't just press buttons. You had to assemble hardware. Yeah, different era.
Yeah. Well, we've got a lot to be thankful for on the roll up today. I think in crypto today, one thing I am thankful for is Bankless citizens. We appreciate you guys. I know we say this every year, Thanksgiving time, but you are the reason we do this podcast and have kept up. God, 4 years of straight roll-ups. I don't know how many that is, but 50 times like 4. I mean, we got to be over 200. We should go count sometime, but that's a lot. And you guys have been with us the entire time. So I'm thankful for Bankless listeners today and Bankless citizens.
There's a strong contingent of Bankless listeners out there who proudly beat their chest whenever they like come up to me or you at permissionless or in real world and just say, I have never missed a weekly roll-up.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, that is a lot of content.
That's a lot.
Wow.
And you know what? We have never missed a weekly roll-up.
We have never missed a weekly
Every
roll-up.
Single Friday.
Every single Friday.
Included.
Yeah.
We're just talking about
big shout out to Anthony Susanna, who taps in every once in a while as needed to make sure that that streak keeps on going. But yes, Bankless has never missed a weekly roll-up.
That's the only way we could do it. You can hear Murphy in the background, my dog. I'm just going with it because it's the
Murphy
holidays.
Has also never
Murphy.
Missed a weekly roll-up.
Yeah, no, he's usually we edit it out. We're not going to edit it out. One other person I'm thankful for, David. You,
Tell me.
My co-host. David Hoffman.
Thanks,
I was going down memory lane, actually, and I went up in our DMs to the very first DM, the very first time we exchanged a message. And here it is. Your first message to me, actually, in DM, Twitter DMs. I do not understand the resistance to Ethereum on behalf of so many Bitcoiners. It is utterly confusing to me. That was December 1st. 2018. So what is that? 6 years ago, pretty much, like pretty close to the day. And I replied, I said, I've been trying to figure it out as well. At core, the value system appears so similar. I don't know why. We spoke very formally back then. This is officially our first DM.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of Bankless is downstream of that vibe of like understanding Bitcoiner values, cypherpunk ethos that Bitcoiners definitely espouse and put into their blockchain, seeing that same ethos in Ethereum, seeing that being disregarded in Ethereum. And now, like, I feel like I bet you there's that same DM into Solana people who like are like, why do the Ethereum people just do not see what we? I bet you it has continued down the fractaling. Like,
I'm sure there's multiple generations of this, but anyway, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. What we've said in previous during the bear markets is you got to grab your bear market buddy during the bear markets, and during the bull markets is true too. You have
bear
to have
market
your bull market
buddies turn into bull market buddies.
You got to celebrate with somebody. Celebrating you like the bull market with all Bankless listeners today. Let's talk about what we're going to cover today on the weekly roll-up. First, last week we started the weekly roll-up with the, dual-wielding middle finger, a 13-year-old, and we were kind of laughing at Memecoin shenanigans. You remember that, David?
How absurd it was? Yeah.
Yeah, it was absurd.
Absurd and entertaining and kind of funny. Yeah.
Kind of funny, right? Well, 3 days later, over that very weekend, things turned really dark. So it started with these ruggings from a 13-year-old and quickly spiraled into some deeply disturbing content. We'll talk about this on Pump.fun. It got so bad that Pump.fun actually had to disable their streaming service. Yeah. So what's going on there? Also, I think related to this, Base and Farcaster have experienced the largest TPS and inflows, transactions per second in inflows ever, I think, on the back of some of this. So maybe the Memecoin mania is shifting somewhere else. We'll dive into that.
Also, in the world of politics, Trump picked a Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. What do we know about him? What do we know about Scott? What can we expect from him? He's said to be pro-crypto. What does that mean? And also, you'll never guess, Ryan, who became the largest investor in Trump's World Liberty financial raise. The raise is still ongoing, so we're going to check in on that rage. And a huge win
Yes.
for
Yes.
crypto decentralization and privacy in the courts. Judges ruled that the OFAC overstepped their authority in the Tornado Cash case. They ruled that immutable smart contracts cannot be sanctioned. They ruled that smart contracts are not businesses and are not persons and therefore cannot be sanctioned. Huge progress, huge win. Can we use Tornado Cash now? Wait. Well, we're also going to talk about that. So all of this and more coming up in the rest of the show. But first, a moment to talk about our friends and sponsors over at Uniswap. Uniswap V4 is something I'm very excited about, Ryan. It is going to be live soon, TM. I think December is the rumor around Uniswap V4. They are launching a $15.5 million bug bounty for anyone that can find a critical bug in Uniswap V4. It's not just an update. We're not just shipping out Uniswap V4. Uniswap has had $2.5 trillion in cumulative trading volume in V2 and V3 without a single hack ever. This is why the Uniswap brand is the Uniswap brand. It is trusted. It is secure. People put their liquidity there because they trust it. We're doing that same thing all over again to make sure that V4 is just as trusted as V2 and V3. And they're doing that with a $15.5 million bug bounty. So find a bug, get generational wealth. There is a link in the show notes, bankless.cc/uniswap-bug-bounty. Link in the show notes.
Guys, $15.5
huge.
million.
That is huge.
Dollars.
That's
okay?
nuts.
I wish I had the dev skills to go like black hat, white hat.
You think you could find the bug? You think you could find the exploit?
Oh my God. This is like the largest bug bounty I've ever seen, not in crypto, like anywhere. And I guess it's almost like a prediction market for Uniswap. It's like a poly market of like, can you find a bug or not? I mean, this shows how confident they are in their code too.
Yes.
So
yes, it's a little bit of just like, hey, like we need to make sure that we put up capital to fund bug bounties, but also it's a dare. It's like you can't find a bug. You can't do it. You're not good enough. You don't. You're a skill issue. You don't have the skills.
Wow. Okay, so you can find out more about that. Link in the show notes.
Speaking of big numbers, Bitcoin almost, but not quite, hit 100K. I think it topped out at like $99,500. Really giving us the tease. Giving us the tease. But also, like, you know, round numbers are this big psychological barrier. I think it kind of, in hindsight, makes sense for a bunch of traders to sell at $99,500 because once it hit that point, it got down to $92,000 yesterday. But since this morning, it is back up to $96,225 where we are now. So even though we bounced off of 100,000, didn't get there, we're still showing a pretty strong performance on the week. Bitcoin on the week up 2.2%, which after its stellar performance for like 4 weeks in a row, being up yet another 2.2%, you know, you got to give a round of applause. The momentum is still going good.
Impressive.
The momentum has gotten so good that it has attracted the attention of Jim Cramer, who publicly just turned bullish on Bitcoin. You got a question about MicroStrategy on a Mad Money episode. Let's just play the clip. I don't have to read it. Let's just play the clip.
Greg in Florida. Greg.
Booyah, Jim. How we doing?
I'm doing well. How about you, partner?
I'm doing very well. All right, so here's the deal. I've owned this stock for a long time, since 2023. I'm up over 1,000% right now. I don't plan on selling it. In fact, after today's correction, I plan on buying more. But I love what the CEO does. He's the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Saylor. The stock is MicroStrategy. What do you...
We call MSTR. We used to call that Mr. MSTR. I've got to tell you, it's a Bitcoin play. I prefer to actually own Bitcoin. I know that Citron put some sort of short on it. All I can tell you is own Bitcoin. That's a winner.
That's a winner.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the conclusion of the...
That's what people are saying. At that point,
that's why we bounced.
Yeah, at that point, we knew we would never hit 100K. That's what.
What if Bitcoin's momentum is so powerful that it just blasts through the curse of Jim Cramer? And it's just like, nope. I'm not stopping.
I mean,
who's gonna win? Jim Cramer versus Michael Saylor's infinite money printer.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll talk about that in a second. But like, I actually like that we haven't hit 100K because now we have something still to look forward to. What are you gonna do if you're a Bitcoiner and you already hit 100K? Wait for 1 million?
Yes.
Wait for 1 million?
The answer is yes. If you're a Bitcoiner,
but it's
the answer is yes.
Not gonna happen this cycle. It's not gonna. You can't. $1 million Bitcoin this cycle. Don't even.
That flips gold at current prices, which is
my God.
Yeah. $1 million Bitcoin is.
So we still got 100. 100K. We still got that to look
Do you think we hit 100K this year?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're just teasing it. I mean,
we got 5 weeks for 100K. Yeah,
I don't think Jim Cramer. By the way, Jim Cramer said good things about Ether this week too. So I didn't want to tell you that, but
we don't have the Michael Saylor to help us break through that one.
Yeah, we have EIP, 1559, David.
Blob space,
our Michael Saylor burn.
Blob spurned almost $1 million of ETH this week. Not quite.
Yeah. But they don't get the press that Saylor does. And, for good reason. Look at this. Michael Saylor has acquired this week another $55,500 Bitcoin, which is $5.4 billion at a price just under $100K per Bitcoin.
$97,800. And then right after this announcement is when Bitcoin dumped. And so I think people were like, oh, the buying pressure has stopped. Like, we're not going to be able to get over 100,000. So
are we just depending on Michael Saylor to carry us to 100K to 250K to beyond?
Obviously, he's not the only one in the bid side of the market, but it's like, I don't know what percentage he is, but I'm concerned that it's a lot.
Okay, well, let me give you some stats on this. MicroStrategy, this is actually a report from analyst at Bernstein. Analyst at Bernstein says MicroStrategy is on track to own 4% of all Bitcoin over the next decade.
Much Bitcoin. 4% of all Bitcoins is insane.
This is a projection based on right now they have 1.7%. MicroStrategy has 1.7% of all Bitcoin. And if they do the thing that they said that they would do, which is raise all of these billions to purchase more, they're on track to hit 4% over the next decade. Okay.
And the $42 billion that they said that they were going to buy Bitcoin over the next 3 years, they have accelerated. They are ahead of schedule. And so they've already bought $8 billion since that announcement. So he's just front running himself on his own timeline.
Yeah. Now, as to whether this all works out, it depends on a few things, the analysts say. Whether investors are structurally long Bitcoin. So obviously, Bitcoin has to go up for this to be a good idea. Also, keep in mind, MicroStrategy is not just buying Bitcoin. They're kind of levered buying it. It's like a levered play on top of Bitcoin. So you're sort of trusting Michael Saylor's ability to kind of manage some of the leverage that he's doing here.
Manage risk.
I don't know if you've gotten into all the intricacies of what that leverage looks like.
I've scratched the surface. Not really.
I don't feel like anyone fully knows unless you're part of the MicroStrategy Michael Saylor machine as to whether that leverage is quote unquote safe. But leverage is leverage. So it's definitely depending on Bitcoin continuing to go up. And then of course, whether MicroStrategy can continue to get more of these bonds, these convertible notes, in order to buy more Bitcoin. So if you think of MicroStrategy, it's kind of it's like a Bitcoin ETF, but with more flexibility, but with more leverage. So it's a levered play on a Bitcoin ETF, essentially.
Yeah, and there's so many eyes on MicroStrategy. Everyone is watching what he's doing, and no one's really triggering any flags of this is too risky. He's taking really low risk debt. Low interest, zero interest debt convertible notes. I don't know the financial engineering, but people that do know it aren't overly scared about whatever he's doing.
But he's adding more leverage to the system. Let's just say that. It's not just spot Bitcoin. It's levered.
It's borrowed. It is
speculation on Bitcoin price go up. Anyway, that's the Bitcoin story. A good week, even at 2%, even though we're under 100K, and what a run it's been for Bitcoin. By the way, I saw a legendary call from Dan Moorhead, who we're having on the podcast later in December, David. You know, Pantera guy?
Yeah, of course.
And it was an image of an email that he sent to everybody in, I think it was June or July 2013.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, I'm backing the truck up at $64 Bitcoin. And I don't care if everyone thinks it's stupid. I'm doing it. Right. And that's
I think because he was trying to get Pantera to buy it, and he was like, if I'm buying it with my personal funds, if Pantera doesn't buy it, that was the end of the email. It's I'm doing this personally.
Just absolutely legendary email. So there's been some people that have been playing this for quite some time. But let's talk about Ether on the week. Give me some good news, David. I think we got green candles.
Ether starting the week at $3,070, up 17% on the week.
What?
We are about to break $3,600. 17% on the week.
Is this it? Is this the pump that we were promised?
ETH has been leading the market for about 10 days, 10 whole days.
10 days it's been leading the market. There were some days
days.
last week, days this week, I should say, where Bitcoin and everything else was selling off and Ether was still up.
Ether was still up. Yeah,
I don't even remember what that felt like, but then I felt it this week and it felt great.
We have seen strength in Ether. No one get too excited. Everyone calm down. Everyone calm down. We have seen strength in the ETH price. It might break 3,600 on this episode.
David, you said that's a 17% rise, a double-digit rise.
17% rise in 1 week. That's pretty good.
Okay, so can we look at maybe the ratio first? We'll go back to the flows, ETF flows, but tell me about the ratio, some signs of life.
Yeah, the ratio has been up since the 19th, since the 20th. And so we are at like 6 days. What is it? The 27th. So we have 7 days a row of strength versus Bitcoin. It's still low, Ryan. Like, again, no, don't dance. But it has been up for 7 days in a row. We are at 0.037. We hit the low of 0.032. We are currently at 0.037.
And I guess keep in mind, to your point, like we were higher on the ratio, like fairly, like much higher on the ratio November 9th. So most of the
But also we were much lower on the ratio November 5th.
That's true.
We can get more signal. I think we'll get more signal out of this like next week.
Okay,
but like it doesn't, there is reason to be optimistic a little bit. Don't dance. Don't get excited.
I wasn't going to dance. Don't worry about that. I'll spare everyone this. But
that was mainly for the listener.
This is a chart that maybe we should take a look at. It's ETH Bitcoin ratio, but on a different time horizon. I think I know who put this together. What is this chart? Big, fat, heavy, thick candles. Some up, some down. What are we looking at?
These are 12-month candles, so 1 year candles. So one candle is 12 years.
Yeah.
And it just there's a trend line. We touched it in 2015. We created it in 2015. We touched it on the bottom. When I sent you that message in DMs, Ryan, about like why we don't understand the Bitcoiners don't see what they see in Ethereum, that was about when the ETH BTC ratio was at the 2020 low.
Way back in 2018 when we started.
2018, 2019. Touched it then at like 0.01517. Then we had a massive green candle, but then now we're back down to this trend line. So like the message here is like, don't overthink it. On the 12-month candles, the longest of time horizons, the ratio has bottomed.
So maybe ETH's not dead after all.
Maybe ETH isn't dead.
This line reminds me of kind of like Ben Cowan's like logarithmic lines.
Yeah.
And basically it's pretty similar, I guess, right?
Yeah,
it's telling a similar story. Okay. How about flows? Should we check in on our flows? We're up. We're positive.
Flows.
This is good.
Ether, $40 million of flows yesterday on the 26th.
ETF flows, we're talking.
ETF flows. $91 million of inflows on the 22nd. The 7 days prior for that was pretty ugly, but that was last week, so we already covered it. And also, interestingly, if you go to the Bitcoin ETF flows, on the day that Ether had $40 million of inflows, Bitcoin had $200 million of outflows. Excuse me, $120 million of outflows.
Wait, that's never happened. We've never gotten a reverse.
Yeah. So
it's almost like these inflows just follow whatever the market price is, David.
yeah. I think that's largely the case. Also, total crypto market cap, all-time high this week.
All-time high. Another all-time high week. This is the fourth roll-up with an all-time high.
Yeah. 3.48 trillion. We are not at 3.5 trillion. We are right below it. But there has been some down market coins that have materially pumped. Ripple up 50% this week. Stellar Lumens, if you remember that coin, doubled in market cap over the last week. And these are multi-billion-dollar market cap things. And so we have seen some like down market cap tokens really adding to the total crypto market cap here.
I mean, have you seen the joke? The joke is that like retail's back now, but they're not buying your bags. Crypto native, sorry, they're going to Ripple and they're buying Stellar and stuff like this. And
Cardano,
we've seen
I think
some
Cardano's
of that.
up this week. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you believe that? Do you believe that meme? Is that what accounts for this stuff?
I don't think anyone knows what Ripple or what retail is doing, other than pumping chill guy on TikTok. We do know that.
Wait, that's a different cadre of retail? I feel like it's not like I feel like the
Are
cadre.
there different groups of retail?
The people who are buying like XRP and Stellar and some of that, that's like retail from the last cycle who had some of these assets, watched them pump last cycle, and then been sleepy until now. And then that's what I imagine in my head anyway.
Old retail. I was talking to Igor from Synthetics about how you know the meme about like sell or buy whatever like the Uber drivers or the taxi drivers are shilling.
Yeah.
The taxi drivers, the Uber drivers have not moved on from Ripple and Cardano. Like,
really?
That's
still
that cohort of people loves the same coins that they have always loved. They have not moved on into like the whole meme coin meta.
Yeah.
They love their Cardanos, they love their Ripples, they love their Dogecoins. That's just like the taxi driver Uber like coins that they just really like.
All right. Well, there's something for everyone in crypto. That's what you got. Another all-time high in the week is a L2 update brought to you by our friends over at MANTLE, which is a fantastic L2. You should catch.
Helped with this all-time high.
Yeah, they helped. They helped a little bit. So this is an all-time high in total value locked inside of layer 2s. We're just a hair above the all-time high at 50 billion in total value locked. So some inflows coming to our layer 2s.
Great to see 50 billion in layer 2s. That feels great.
You know, another number we should call out, which I noticed on the week, I think you probably saw this too, is Aave just hit $30 billion in deposits.
That's
okay?
Awesome.
Aave, DeFi blue chip. We've been excited about Aave since probably the time like you and I just started DMing on Twitter, 2018, 2019. It was that class of OG DeFi protocols. And they've just been steadily building this like money market, money Lego primitive inside of Ethereum and inside of crypto. And they are now at 30 billion deposits. So that's larger than thousands of banks. If it was a bank, David, Aave would be the 64th largest bank by deposits. That is fantastic. Look at how far we've come.
So cool.
64, looking forward to the top 10. It might happen this cycle. Aave is a fantastic place to put your crypto assets for yield. A lot of the risk has been kind of like burnt off of it. Just like a big number for Aave that's happening in the background. Doesn't get a lot of credit all the time, but they've been building very consistently.
Yeah. Speaking of tokens that have had stellar performance, Aave has just crossed $200. It hasn't been this high since April of 2022. Wow. And Aave, I would say, is definitely leading the DeFi pack. Aave performance since like in May, it was under $100. May of this year, it's under $100, and now it's at $200. One of those tokens, it was an old ICO token, fully diluted, fully liquid.
Remember that?
ETHLend, remember ETHLend? Yeah, fully liquid in the market. Like, I think this is Aave itself is like a big shelling point of just like DeFi strength. So when Aave goes up, I think DeFi is leading DeFi in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. A DeFi renaissance, right? And it's like, but so it's at market cap of 2.7 billion. All-time high was back in 2021 in those heady days where it hit very briefly. It hit almost $8 billion.
Yeah, that was a stupid high valuation.
I mean, this is a cash flowing token, though. It's it's pretty cool. You can do a discounted cash flow and come up with a valuation with some fundamentals there. So cool to see that perform.
We like the fundamentals.
We got a lot more. What else are we talking about, David?
Pump.fun had to pause their streaming future because of just a bunch of shit that I just do not want to be even like verbalize.
It's not crypto.
We found, it's not great. We found a clip that I think we'll play to really just illustrate the point because we're not going to show any of it on screen. What will they do now? And like, what does this mean for meme coins as a category moving forward? And now also, since meme coins are getting so big, it's partly a consequence of meme coins getting so big. Is it now flowing into other chains? So did Base just catch the meme coin influenza last week? We're going to talk about all of this happenings on all of these different chains. But first, a moment to talk about some of these fantastic sponsors that make this show possible, especially KRAKEN, our preferred place for buy and sell, but mainly buy crypto in 2024. If you do not have an account with KRAKEN, consider clicking the link in the show notes to getting started with KRAKEN today. If you want a crypto trading experience backed by world-class security and award-winning support teams, then head over to KRAKEN, one of the longest-standing and most secure crypto platforms in the world. KRAKEN is on a journey to build a more accessible, inclusive, and fair financial system, making it simple and secure for everyone, everywhere, to trade crypto. KRAKEN's intuitive trading tools are designed to grow with you, empowering you to make your first or your 100th trade in just a few clicks. And there's an award-winning client support team available 24/7 to help you along the way, along with a whole range of educational guides, articles, and videos. With products and features like KRAKEN Pro and KRAKEN NFT Marketplace and a seamless app to bring it all together, it's really the perfect place to get your complete crypto experience. So check out the simple, secure, and powerful way for everyone to trade crypto, whether you're a complete beginner or a seasoned pro. Go to kraken.com/bankless to see what crypto can be. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss. UNISWAP Uniswap wallet is officially the preferred wallet of Bankless, and it's the one we use anytime when we want to transact on-chain. Whether you're on your browser or on the go, Uniswap wallet makes it easier than ever to swap anytime, anywhere. Use your wallet to transfer funds directly from a top centralized exchange and tap in thousands of tokens across Ethereum and over 10 other chains like Base, Arbitrum, and Optimism. Uniswap wallet delivers deep liquidity, fast execution, and reliable quotes with zero gas swaps through Uniswap X. And when it comes to security, you can rest easy knowing it's backed by Uniswap Labs, one of the most trusted teams in DeFi. Their code is open source and independently reviewed, so you know it's protected. So why wait? Download the Uniswap wallet today on Chrome, iOS, and Android. And don't forget to claim your free uni.eth username directly in the mobile wallet. Start swapping smarter with Uniswap. Centralized finance held all the power, and now DeFi gives it back to you. Enter the unlimited era with dYdX Unlimited, featuring instant market listings where you can list and trade any market instantly with liquidity. Experience trading like never before with all the trading tools you know and love, all on-chain. And then there's MegaVault, your gateway to automatic liquidity and yield. Just deposit some USDC and start earning yield immediately. It's so simple, and dYdX Unlimited comes packed with so much more. Leveraged prediction market perpetual futures, instant deposits, and there's even a revamped trading rewards program to get rewarded for every trade you make. So visit dYdX.trade today to get started.
Here's a headline from Bloomberg. Pump.fun stream shows the dark side of Memecoin trading. So last week when we were talking about Pump.fun, it was that 12-year-old rugging like a bunch of on live stream, bunch of listeners. And of course, we talked about Pump.fun is a Memecoin launch play. It's been incredibly popular this cycle. It's kind of
it has been the focus point. It has been the selling point.
Focus point. And so we've seen various shenanigans, but like most of them somewhat innocent degen types of things. However, absurdist, funny. There has been a darker side and to Pump.fun all along, and because there's a live streaming service, like there's live streaming associated with the token launches, and anyone can stream whatever they want. Suddenly this weekend, it felt like it turned real dark.
Yeah, and it got real crazy real fast.
Yeah, so let's just play this clip from, I guess he's a crypto influencer, BitLord. He kind of is a synopsis, maybe parental advisory warning, like there's some dark material that's covered. We're not going to show anything, but here's what BitLord illustrates has been going on at Pump.fun.
Guys, they cut somebody's head off on Pump.fun today. They've kidnapped dogs, cats, children. Somebody was holding a gun to a goldfish. Someone's holding a gun to a dog. If the price didn't go up, he was going to execute it. They ended the live stream. I think they shut it down. They caught it. And right now, today, somebody is on a 24-hour live stream of crime. He's going around. He's jacking cars. He's jacking scooters. He's broke into a bank and he's doing that. He's live streaming the whole thing now, and he's trying to say that he's doing it until he gets arrested. That's the coin of the day, a 24-hour crime spree live stream. I mean, guys, this is wrong. This is getting out of control. This is beyond what we dreamed of. This isn't mass adoption. This isn't crypto. I didn't envision this shit.
He goes on and talks about it more, but that gives you a flavor for what was going on in the streaming service. Like, I guess it's all attention economics.
I think there's the addition of the streaming service into the chart with the dev. I think just really creates a bad mix of features to really incentivize this. You can see why Pump.fun did it in the first place. Like, meme coins, they're very social. Like, you're in the trenches, you're usually doing it with friends. It's just a very social thing to do. And adding on a live streaming feature just really leans into that element. And it also kind of incentivizes some of the most like attention grabbing behavior, which, it just kind of converges on like crime.
Bad stuff. That's what was happening. So obviously some dark things. So there was a huge sentiment shift. This is Kato AI, and they monitor kind of like Twitter sentiment, social media sentiment for Pump.fun, and they're showing an all-time low earlier this week on kind of like the sentiment for what's going on in Pump.fun. And so there was a call from the crypto Twitter community to just like stop live streaming.
Right.
There had been some moderation, I understand. Pump.fun was like kind of like moderating some of these streams, but it was just like too much at once. Right. They couldn't keep up with it. And so things were slipping by, obviously, on the app.
Pump.fun is not set up to be a social platform like Facebook or Instagram. And when Pump.fun had a couple like very viral moments, like Chill Guy and also the kid we talked about last week, it just brought in a complete influx of new people and just kind of changed the meta of like people realizing what it takes to really get a token to pump. And so like it's really there's this hot ball of money going around, and there's like different strategies to get that hot ball of money to come to you. And so they have since paused the live streaming feature, and they set out a statement
on Monday, right? They paused it.
Yes, on Monday they paused it. Yeah. Good. That's definitely the positive outcome. Had this gotten any worse, definitely would have been a very bad mark against crypto in the public sphere. Like, I don't want many people to like associate my industry with that. And so this is definitely done in the best interest of the entire industry, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's Thanksgiving weekend. I mean, this was like on the cusp of hitting mainstream attention. There's obviously an article on Bloomberg, but like you heard what was going on, right? And it's like there's already some animosity towards crypto and degen, like token behavior, a lot of things people don't understand. And so there's already that as the bedrock. And then if you start to associate this with like kidnappings and like people's threats against their family,
or fake, like whatever, like I think most of this stuff was like
fake, staged,
but it doesn't matter. Like one out of 100 is real, and like that's what, like, we don't really want to move that over to Shifto there.
Probably the worst thing I've ever seen to be to be associated with in crypto. Like degen's making money from somebody doing something terrible on live stream. Just
and like kids are getting involved here. Like this isn't FTX, where this is happening in like a far off distant land in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
like these are just happening in people's homes.
Oh yeah,
like could be a neighbor.
Could you imagine the headlines? Like what is your teenager doing on laptop in crypto?
You
talk about
is your teenager
panic,
on
right?
Moral panic. I think for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, would be a stain on our industry were this to continue. This is the point Chainlink God makes. Pump.fun is going to be a massive reputational stain on crypto industry on par with FTX. It's devolved into a complete unchecked degeneracy, an unmoderated streaming site that enabled kids to gamble and get scammed at scale. Not seen since loot boxes. If not cleaned up, I foresee the feds taking the site down. Negative mainstream articles being written. The Solana community increasingly distancing themselves from the platform as they should. Stuff like this is why I'm telling people I'm not involved with crypto. It comes across as a massive grift. So this was the take, right? And so,
it's pretty harsh.
I don't know what he has said, Chainlink God has said post the disabling of the streaming service. But of course, let's remember, this is the app layer, right? So an app like Pump.fun gets to moderate, permission, whatever they want on top of a permissionless blockchain. They can choose to moderate things if they want. And like, that's from my perspective at the app layer, that's a good idea.
That's their responsibility.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's yet to be seen how much of a silver bullet just simply disabling the live stream feature is.
Sure.
Hopefully it is a silver bullet, because there's like Memecoin and Memecoin trading, and like that level of like however amount of degeneracy that people might be okay with. And then there's the live stream feature, and like you can actually like separate these things. And maybe you can say like, well, the meme coin trading does incentivize attention. But like the whole original point of meme coins is like it incentivizes attention by making really funny memes, versus like live streaming, which creates a different set of incentives. So maybe the mechanism of live streaming was all of the evil here, and just simply turning that off fixes this. I think we're going to see how this unfolds over the next few weeks.
It's so wild to me because I also, it seems pretty dumb to me. Like, just like they're recording themselves online, like doing crime, right? And it's like, in exchange for what? To pump a token? But that's all like trackable on chain as well. I mean, I don't understand.
I don't think the people who are
they're not thinking about it.
Yeah. The funniest one, that the late live stream feature that I saw, was no hands, no rug dev. And so this dev just pretended like he had no arms, so he wouldn't be able to rug you, which doesn't really make any sense. But like that was his big claim. Like, I don't have any arms, so I can't press the sell button. And so he was like holding that piece of paper that said that under his chin. And then you just see him bring his arms out, press the sell button, dumps, and like walks away. And like, I was looking at the chart, the guy dumped for like $20,000, which I know is like, that's a lot of money to a lot of people. But also, if like in the meme coins that like I'm very aware of, with like the $1 billion market caps, that's like nothing.
Well, my question on the back of this was like, is that the top? Like, has Pump.fun and meme coins in general kind of like jumped the shark this cycle?
Right.
And I think that remains to be seen. I don't know that that's the top or not, but I do know that some attention has been moving, some meme coin energy, let's say, has been moving to the base ecosystem, at least on the week. And you've been pretty actually active in the trenches over there. But one thing
I have pressed more buttons on my ledger in the last 7 days than I have pressed all year.
Okay, so you got to tell us about that, but like a few things. One, we could look at kind of like inflows onto Base, but this certainly was worthy of attention. So this is a tweet from Phantom. So Phantom, the big wallet, it's been huge on Solana thus far. It's basically the way people are buying Pump.fun like meme coins this cycle. Today, we're rolling out to Base chain. We're rolling out the Base chain to everyone on Phantom. You can now swap tokens, access your favorite DeFi and NFT apps, and buy ETH and USDC on Base. So Phantom didn't support Base before, and now it does,
right?
Which is a pretty major thing, I would think.
Yeah. Phantom supports the Ethereum layer 1, Polygon, and then also Solana. It started off as the main Solana wallet, then integrated Polygon, because that was like the other kind of like degen chain for a while when Phantom was getting started. And now they are rolling out Base, and also they're being a conduit between tokens on Base and Solana. I don't know how they're doing this, but you can swap between tokens on Base and Solana, which is kind of pretty crazy. And this is a UX that users care about, as in like they don't care about whatever chain that they're on. They just want to swap tokens.
The Phantom wallet is great. I mean, the UX has
really nice.
Always been fantastic.
Yeah. So there's like a short story that I put together in a tweet that is putting a bunch of pieces together. That being Phantom wallet opening up Base activity. It's a big one. TVL in Base, the flows into Base has just been rocketing up for like 2 or 3 months straight now. We were at a little over 2 billion just last October, and we are now beyond $3 billion in Base. All-time highs. $250 million of inflows came into Base just on November 24th, just in one day. And so Base, and also Jesse put out this tweet, all-time high in daily transactions on Base by a lot. There was like a big jump from like 7 million daily transactions on Base up to 10 million-ish, 11 million. And so we're hitting 11 million transactions per day on Base. And then also fees have not moved at all. So Base is hitting like new levels of adoption, new levels of stress, performing pretty damn well. And I think it all kind of begs the question, like, why now? Base has been in an uptrend, but it has really hit an inflection point in the last 7 days or so. And I've personally felt it because I'm playing around on Base.
Yeah,
there's like
so
things,
what's going
there's
on
things
there?
to do there. Dan Romero, the founder of Farcaster, he's calling this programmable social. And so this is coming on the back of an announcement from this one app called Anoncast. And we talked about this last week, actually. This was the Anon app. This is ZK app, where if you have a sufficient supply of the Anon tokens, like 5,000 Anon tokens, you get to go to the website, connect your wallet, and it will let you tweet from this ZK app. And it'll come out of this Anoncast, Farcaster, and Twitter account. And no one will know, including the operators of Anoncast, no one will know who wrote the tweet because of $0 proofs. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of like a fun little...
You have to have the Anon tokens.
You have to have the Anon tokens, yes.
Tweet this private tweet, basically.
Exactly, yeah. And so
I did this, by the way. Like, fun fact.
Oh, yeah?
I tried this out. Yeah. It was really fun. So I don't know if you saw my tweet.
I don't know. I don't know which tweet it was.
Oh, really? You don't? Well, it was funny. I said something to the effect of like... I have an Ethermaxi podcast, but I'm secretly buying Sol.
I saw that one.
My podcast
you
co-host
retweeted
doesn't know.
it, and I was like, that could have been anyone. Like I didn't even think
you didn't know it was me? It was
no,
me.
I didn't.
It was me.
Okay, what did the tweet say?
It said something like, here, I'll read it to you. It said this: Confession, I'm the co-host of a successful Ethereum Maxi podcast. We're not Maxi podcast, by the way, but people think this. And I secretly own millions of Sol. And then I said, I'm just kidding, David. I would never do this. Anonymously.
Okay, but also, when I read that tweet, I was like, this is somebody else masquerading as Ryan, not Ryan masquerading as Ryan.
No, perfect. It was fun. And you have to have the Anon token, a certain amount of Anon tokens in order to do this.
Okay, so that is Farcaster app number one, and this app is a Farcaster account. So we're seeing like an integration of apps and accounts. So that's kind of cool. And that's just number one. The second one is this thing called Clanker. And Clanker is an AI agent. It's also a Farcaster account, so you can tag it and talk to it. And if you tag it, you can request Clanker to make a token. And you can say, hey, here's the ticker that I want. Here is the picture that I want. Can you please make a token out of this?
It's an AI agent that just like
it'll
spins
reply
up a
to you in
token
kind of
for
like this like snarky way, and then also talk about like how this token. I hope this token like entertains you for a moment while you like distract yourself from the void. Like very existential, like Nietzsche like level of response from Clanker. But like
fun.
aside is this bot.
Wait,
it's
so
this
you
AI
just
agent
like.
bot.
I've not done this. I've seen it done. I think like so for Clanker, you have to be on Farcaster. What?
Yes,
right.
Farcaster.
So you're on Farcaster, and Warpcast is kind of the client for Farcaster. And you tag Clanker, and you're like, "Hey, Clanker, make me a token. You know, make it like
make the ticker this. Here's the photo." And then
here's the photo. And then do you
yep.
give it a theme or a vibe, or like do you set the like supply parameters or anything?
No, it does all of that for you. I think this is currently in development, so I think they're going to open up more like expressivity to it.
And then does all the on-chain work. It spins up the token. Everything else.
It spins up a token, and it spins up a Uniswap v3 pool. And so it also spins up liquidity, and then it takes some fees. I think like 40% of the fees, and
Clanker does.
Clanker does, and then the token deployer takes 60% of the fees. And so there's like regular payouts to token deployers. And okay, so that's app number 2, which many people are like using Clanker to issue create their token, request their token. And so this has kind of turned into the Pump.fun of base of Farcaster. And so because it's like you don't actually have to go in with Pump.fun, you have to go and you have to like fill out this form of this token to fill out. It's kind of like filling out a Google form in order to make your Pump.fun token. With Clanker, you just at the thing on Farcaster or on Warpcast and be like, hey, make me a token, here's a picture, and then it does it for you.
Do you think Pump.fun will just create that now? It'll just do an AI agent version of Pump.fun?
Well, so there are other, there's already a derivative out there, a Clanker derivative that's on Twitter. And so you can tag it on Twitter and it will make you a token and also spin up a Uniswap v3 pool. So like this is also like going out into like other corners of the world.
Interesting.
Okay. So that's app 2. So Clanker is app 2. What Dan Romero is talking about, Programmable Social, is this thing called Anon Fun. And so you can, using Anon, write a tweet anonymously that talks to Clanker to issue a token anonymously. And so now we have this third combinatorial thing of these two apps are now combined together to make Anon Fun, which is you can anonymously create Clanker tokens. And so this is why Farcaster Dan
wait. Hold on. Okay, so Anon, by the way, was a token created by Clanker as well. So
Anon itself was a token created by Clanker, correct?
Okay.
Yes.
But now you can ask Clanker to create an anonymous.
If you have Anon tokens, you can anonymously, looks like writing a cast via Anon. You can anonymously call the Clanker account and get it to create the token through Anon cast.
Okay.
So like
why would you want to do that? So I could like create RSA as a moron if I want, and it could be from me, but like my ETH wallet or whatever, or my base wallet, and no one would know it was me because it's all anonymous.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And so this is creating this like new third thing, which is like the anonymous creation of Clanker tokens. And so my imagination goes back to 2019 DeFi summer, put out a tweet that said in 2019, Ethereum discovered money Legos. You can combine Uniswap with Maker and Aave, and we would have these financial primitives that could combine together to create net new on-chain financial products. In 2024, Farcaster is discovering AI Legos. I don't know if that's the meme that's going to stick, but like call it AI Legos for now.
That's cool.
AI agents, or just like even just bot accounts. Because Anon's not an AI agent, it's just more of it's an app in an account. AI agents are talking together, offering services, building new gadgets. And so this is kind of like the meta that I'm seeing of like people are building apps into these Farcaster accounts that are allowing net new things to like kind of be combined together.
That's pretty cool. And it happens to be the
cool.
case that many of these net new things are like speculative meme coins, right? Is like
many of them so far, yeah.
Although Anon is not.
Anon is not. Anon has utility.
It's a meme coin, but it also has some some function, right? And it enables you to create like anonymous messages and tweets.
That's right. That's right. I think this is also just the normal order of progressions. Like Ethereum, when we created the Ethereum blockchain, the first thing you could really do on it was make tokens. And then people learned how to like make apps out of those tokens. And this is what I think happens first. First, Clinker has this primitive of we just make tokens first, and then we figure out how to make apps. Somebody, Cheryl from Seed Club, made Blonde using Clinker. So she made this blonde token. I think the way that this started is I think there was already a chat called Blonding Curve with a bunch of just like women in Web3 who named their group chat Blonding Curve. And so I think they've already had some like pre-existing lore about blondes in crypto. But Cheryl decides to go to Clinker and mint Blonde. And then all of the Web3 like women who are on Base and Farcaster just thought it was a great meme. And so there's like 500 people in this Blonde Telegram, and it's just like a good story of like meme coins. I have previously cast off the idea of meme coins because they're all over the place. You don't really know what it's a grab bag of what you get. But like I've always understood Dogecoin to be like really good example of like a good meme coin of like a bottom up community, and then seeing it happen like firsthand of just like a bunch of women who identify with a meme and they get really excited and they get into a group chat and they just have fun. I was like, yeah, it was hard. It was
similar
hard.
to the NFT energy from last
very similar to
community
NFTs,
NFT energy. Like, and it's just all a vibe, and it seems like that's coming back. The interesting thing about this, or the tech breakthrough to me, is like the AI agent piece, which now it's dabbling with meme coins, but I don't think it'll stop there. I think there's
I think it only starts there. I think it starts there. Okay, not just on Farcaster, but on Base. Speaking of AI agents, have you heard of AI XBT, Ryan?
No. Okay.
No. AI XBT is an AI agent spun up by the Virtuals platform. We talked about Virtuals in the podcast previously when we did our episode with eJazz. And also Matt Stevenson. Luna is the Virtuals AI agent that they made on the platform, is them dogfooding their own platform.
Right.
Virtuals is just an AI agent, like as a service kind of thing. AI XBT is now surpassing Luna, the most valuable AI agent on the Virtuals platform. And it is an AI bot on Twitter that just tweets out really just useful stuff. It's a really great follow.
Is this like modeled off of Zach XBT at all?
XBT is just kind of like this addition of like 3 letters. I don't know where XBT comes from.
Okay.
But no, not Zach XBT. It just spits out just data and metrics, and you can engage with it on Twitter. And it's a really useful account. And it has become the #2 influencer on Twitter by engagement stats behind Ansem.
Wait, is this it? Number 2?
Yeah. Yep. That's right. Yeah, you should follow it. Yeah. And so like it's just cool to see as like a KOL in crypto Twitter mindshare metric. We have an AI agent in the #2 position, flipping a bunch of humans. And so that is coming also out of the Base ecosystem.
My God,
as well.
AIs are coming for our job, David. This is pretty useful.
It's really cool. There's a lot of very cool stuff happening.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, this is very cool. All right.
Yeah. So to answer your question about why Base transactions are at all-time high and why inflows are coming in, it's because like people are like me are playing around in like the AI. It's like this AI utility meme coin trenches. We haven't really like come up with the right words for it, but there's like a lot of cool stuff happening for it. And like I haven't been more on chain in the last like week. No, you've been making.
I've seen some of it. You've been making some bets. You've been pressing some buttons, which is a good time to mention our disclaimers, Bankless disclaimers, disclosures, I should say. So we disclose all of this at bankless.com/disclosures. We update this monthly, so we have a disclosure policy. And since David, it seems like, and me a little bit, and you've roped me into some of this.
I have purchased some. I have sold some ETH to purchase some tokens.
Dang, why? How could you? But getting a bit more active, and like what I should say is, so you guys can see that, track that activity. We'll keep it updated. What I should say is, the way I know you do this type of thing in these cycles is you allocate a percentage of your portfolio to go play these kind of like whatever the meta type game is, meme coin game, whatever the newest token game type like is. It's actually a fun way to like experience chains to see how good they are from a UX perspective as well. And but I do want to flag, this is not the type, like not everybody should be in the trenches. And certainly like the percentage, if you are in the trenches, the percent of your portfolio that you allocate to this stuff, like I recommend that it's small. Like do not denominate in this type of thing. So this was a good tweet from a DC investor that I feel like kind of sums it up, right? Because we're talking to all sorts of people with different like time horizons and different risk preferences. And he said this place, he's talking about crypto, is absolutely insane because you have people trying to turn $5 into $1 million alongside people trying to turn 100K into 10 million and 10 million to 100 million and 100 million into 10 billion. It's often hard to tell who's who. It's no wonder each group, for the most part, thinks the others are absolutely insane. And that's kind of like, what it comes down to. So obviously, in crypto for the long term, you should be stacking blue chip assets, the monetary assets, the things like Bitcoin, the things like Ether. We would say over allocate in Ether, but that's like kind of the Bankless thing. We think ETH is money. You may or you may not, but the degen games are being played by other. And I think you hopefully you're doing it in a healthy way, David. I don't know. I'm just checking in on you, brother. I'm your bull market buddy. So you're not gambling with, 95% of your portfolio, are you?
With my savings? No. The goal is always to take like, my personal goal is to take like 10% of your portfolio, try to flip it into becoming 50% of your portfolio.
Yeah.
And then reallocate it, put it into the savings, the piggy bank, and then do it again. See how many times you can do that inside of one cycle. If you can do it more than once, it's pretty good.
There you go.
But yeah, don't only 10%.
Fun. You got a big smile. You must be up on the week.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
All right, what do we got coming up?
Coming up next, a huge win for crypto in the courts. Two wins, actually. Everyone is already talking about Tornado Cash, but there is a second big win in the courts that you might not have heard about. Treasury just backing down. And then Trump announces Scott Bessent will be his Treasury Secretary. What do we know about him and why is this role so important? And then Justin Sun. Oh, I just leaked it. Justin Sun invests $30 million into Trump's World Liberty Financial DeFi product. What does Justin Sun want with that? We're going to get to all this and more. But first, I'm going to talk about some of these fantastic sponsors that make this show possible. New projects are coming online to the MANTLE Layer 2 every single week. Why is this happening? Maybe it's because MANTLE has been on the frontier of Layer 2 design architecture since it first started building MANTLE DA, powered by technology from EigenDA. Maybe it's because users are coming onto the MANTLE Layer 2 to capture some of the highest yields available in DeFi, and to automatically receive the points and tokens being accrued by the $3 billion MANTLE treasury in the MANTLE reward station. Maybe it's because the MANTLE team is one of the most helpful teams to build with, giving you grants, liquidity support, and venture partners to help bootstrap your MANTLE application. Maybe it's all of these reasons all put together. So if you're a dev and you want to build on one of the best foundations in crypto, or you're a user looking to claim some ownership on MANTLE's DeFi apps, click the link in the show notes to getting started with MANTLE. Launching a token? Worried about the IRS? Talk to Toku for 5 minutes to learn how to save hundreds of thousands of dollars for you, your team, and your investors. Now, if you do an initial consultation, Toku will cover the cost of your token valuation, which is what you need for your launch. So don't wait. Reach out to the team right now at team@toku.com. That's team@toku.com. Tired of juggling multiple wallets and websites just to navigate Web3? Meet Magic Eden, the home of Web3. It is becoming a super dApp where you can do everything cross-chain all in one place. They're solving UX issues by building products across every chain ecosystem, swaps, borrowing and lending, NFTs, perps, and more, all seamlessly cross-chain. Instead of hopping between countless sites and handling multiple wallets, just use Magic Eden. Save time and get to the meme coining faster. Plus, the ME token is coming out this quarter from the ME Foundation. If you've used any of their protocols, like the NFT platform, you can claim some. So check out Magic Eden today and watch them become a super dApp and the home of Web3 in real time. You can get there at magiceden.io to get started.
Here it is, the big victory in a Tornado Cash case as a judge says that Treasury has exceeded its authority. Okay, we got to zoom out and talk about this because there's multiple Tornado Cash cases going on right now. This was a specific one, I believe, sponsored by Coinbase with some people that we know in crypto, one of which is Preston Van Loon, who is a ETH core dev, right? Responsible for the Prism client. Yeah. And he is, I guess, a name on the case along with some others going to Treasury and bringing Treasury to court because Treasury has, of course, made the smart contracts, the actual immutable smart contract code, they have sanctioned those ETH addresses. It's like on the OFAC sanction list. And Preston and some others associated with this case have claimed, you can't do that. You can't, it's not property. You can't just sanction code. You have overstepped your authority. And it seems like the courts have agreed with that interpretation of the law. So what's going on here, David?
Exactly what you said. So the Tornado Cash contract addresses are on the OFAC sanction list. Their existence on the OFAC sanction list has been deemed by the courts to be unconstitutional. So this begs the question, does this mean that you can just go use Tornado Cash now?
Yeah.
And I tweeted this out asking some lawyers, and they said, yo, hold your horses. Let's wait for this to also propagate out down into the lower courts. But the answer wasn't and absolutely not. So my interpretation of this, and I'm not a lawyer, is that Tornado Cash is still on the OFAC sanctions list. So therefore, you shouldn't go use it.
Because Treasury put them there, right?
Because Treasury put them there.
Yep.
And that action has been deemed unconstitutional. But they are still on the OFAC sanctions list.
For now.
For now. And so hopefully, in the happy case, OFAC removes them from the sanctions list because the courts have deemed them to be unconstitutional. But as of right now, they are still on the OFAC sanctions list.
Yeah.
And so we are in this kind of mushy gray area where we need this court ruling to propagate outwards. And so hold your breath. We might get this. Very cool. Peter Van Valkenburg tweeted this out. I'm loving reading through this opinion. Smart contracts are not contracts, nor are they smart. And that makes all the difference. Contracts in the legal case, as in a contract between two people. While the Van Loon case is all about statutory authority, is also secretly a constitutional law case. OFAC Tornado Cash sanctions were an unconscionable stretch of the limited powers granted to them by Congress. Our constitutional separation of powers does not allow executive to simply make up the law, even where there are extrinsic circumstances or national security demands. And it's what makes America great. I think that the really important thing that got ruled here in the constitutionality of this is that humans and businesses, persons and businesses, can be put on the OFAC sanction list. As a result of this ruling, smart contracts have been ruled to not be persons nor businesses.
Right.
They are something else. They are a new thing.
That's huge.
Which is huge.
An important distinction that we did not have before this case. Like Treasury just thought that they could sanction code, sanction autonomous smart contract, decentralized protocol code living on Ethereum. And this court case says they can't do that. They don't have the constitutional authority to do that.
Okay, so question to you, Ryan. We recently just had Roman Storm on to advocate for his defense. He's going to court. He was threatened, potentially going to jail. What has changed with that case? What is anything different now? Is he going to walk free?
Roman Storm is, as you guys will recall, is one of the developers of the autonomous smart contract code, which apparently now a court has decided Treasury is unable to sanction. So, and he goes for his court case and trial in April. So, will this make any difference to him? According to some of the crypto lawyers we've talked to, it's slightly helpful, but it's still separate. It's still kind of an apples and oranges thing, because what the DOJ is alleging in the Roman Storm case is that Roman Storm is operating a service, right? So he was essentially one of those. The autonomous smart contract code may not be sanctionable, but the service, the UI layer over top that he was providing, or maybe the Tron tokens or other elements of things that he were doing, were breaking sanctions law. So it could be slightly helpful, but unfortunately it's a completely separate case. So Roman Storm still needs to raise fund for his defense. We tried to help a little bit more with that last week by drawing some attention to his case and for folks to hear his story. But just a reminder, that case could use some donation. He's trying to raise $1.5 million in order to protect himself. And it's great. When we win these cases in court, all of crypto wins.
We all win.
All U.S. citizens win. And this is the way to do it, to curtail the administrative power to try to prevent our decentralized use of these public goods. We need to win in the court system. This is part of how the system was constructed.
So we just got the Tornado Cash removed. We got smart contracts protected as neutral technology.
Yeah.
What we did not protect is developers' freedom and ability and right to write open source software. That has not been protected. That is a separate issue. So we are chipping away,
and
at
just
the
as
Tornado
bad,
Cash
right?
is just as bad. So like Brian said, this might be able to bolster Roman Storm's defense a little bit, but it is materially a separate issue. He is still under threat of going to jail. He still needs funds, and we still need to protect Roman Storm and open source software devs everywhere.
Yeah.
We got some donations in post episode. We did a Twitter space. We still need a lot more. How insane would it be if the OFAC, we got Tornado Cash off the OFAC sanctions list and Roman Storm went to jail? I would feel terrible. That would be insane. That would be the federal government using Roman Storm as an example, as a scapegoat when he ought not to be. And we need to donate. We need to donate more money to make sure that open source software devs stay out of jail, including Roman Storm.
Well, can you imagine if we ended up in this place where, like, sure, the autonomous decentralized code couldn't be sanctioned, but basically if you're a developer, deploying it and writing the code, and then you go to jail. I mean, it's kind of the same type of effect, right? The same chilling effect as if we lost this case. So, like, definitely more work to be done. And speaking of more work to be done and court wins, we got another court win. The U.S. court struck down the SEC broker-dealer rule. And so what they were trying to do, what the SEC was trying to claim, is that UNISWAP, automated market makers, these type, if they're controlling more than $50 million, or even liquidity pools, if you're an LP in a UNISWAP pool, there's more than $50 million, you are a broker-dealer. And this was one of those side issues like we've talked about with some of the crypto lawyers, but it's going on in the background. What it would de facto do is like make all the Uniswap pools, everything in DeFi, kind of SEC controlled, broker dealer, AML, KYC, everything that goes along with that. Anyway, the courts struck that down too. So another win on the week. This is a Blockchain Association CEO, Kristen Smith. She said, today's court ruling is a victory not just for the Blockchain Association, but for the entire crypto industry. The dealer rule was an attempt by the SEC to advance its agency's anti-crypto crusade, unlawfully redefining the boundaries of its authority granted by Congress. And following this ruling, we've rolled it back, essentially, protected from this unlawful rule. So another win this week. We're just stacking them up.
Can't stop winning. We're just winning left and right. I'm so tired of winning, Ryan. I'm so tired.
I gotta say, I was telling you before this, it's like one of those Disney movies at the end where like the villain is defeated and like the land was enchanted with like the darkness or the cold, the freeze, and it's just like all suddenly melts away. The evil is like that's what it feels like very much. Okay, so someone else who will be influential. By the way, you got your court case against Treasury.
So like the beautiful thing about this whole Treasury thing is like we had 2 shots on goal here, and the first shot on goal went in. So great. I still get my shot on goal. I have mine's still coming.
You're second.
But I mean, we already got the goal, and so it would be nice to really drive this point
home.
Well,
for people who don't know that, David is actually involved in a similar lawsuit to the one that
highly
we just
similar,
talked about.
highly overlapping. Yeah.
But the Coin Center is sponsoring it and paying for it, and it's like basically Hoffman and some others against Janet Yellen and Treasury, right? And so like that would be a second opportunity to kind of win and further cement this precedent.
Right.
Don't lose, man. You can't lose now, though, right?
No. Well, okay, so the T is that the Coinbase case was given a more favorable circuit. My case was given a less favorable circuit.
Okay. You're
but
have to work
still,
for it.
TBD.
Yeah. Well, it's not you. It's all the talented lawyers over at Coin Center doing the work.
Thank you, Coin Center. God's work. God's
work for sure. Okay, so things could be different under the new Treasury Secretary. David, you gave us the name earlier. Should we just actually play the clip and get Scott Bessent? He's been named as the new Treasury Secretary. Okay. I want to hear his take on crypto, and this is the only thing we've publicly heard him say about it. So let's just hear it in his own words.
I've been excited about the president's embrace of crypto, and I think it fits very well with the Republican Party, the ethos of crypto's about freedom, and the crypto economy is here to stay. The Democrats are running from it because they're trying to wash off the stench of Sam Bankman-Fried and his family's donations to the Democratic Party. So they're willing to take down a whole industry because of bad behavior on their part, bad behavior one actor. And I think that everything's on the table with Bitcoin. And to me, one of the most exciting things about Bitcoin is for a generation of investors who maybe post the great financial crisis, have been looking for investment opportunities, or maybe they'd soured on markets. Crypto is bringing in young people. It's bringing in the people who haven't participated in markets, and having a market culture in the U.S. and people believing that markets work for them is a centerpiece of capitalism.
David,
that's pretty bullish.
Yeah,
that's pretty bullish.
That is the person probably second to the president of the U.S. who has kind of the most executive authority, sway.
Right. So this is the new Janet Yellen. The current Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. This is the man who would replace Janet Yellen.
Yeah, this does not sound like
that's a
guy
big swing.
Who would go and put
sanction
autonomous smart contracts on the OFAC sanction list.
Yeah.
I don't think so anyway. This is Jake Chervinsky on this pick. Scott, the next Treasury Secretary will make crucial policy decisions for the future of crypto in the U.S. For example, Scott Bessent could undo OFAC's unlawful sanctions against Tornado Cash in order
we have
rulemaking.
So many bullets in the chamber.
Right? It's very good. A broader question is, of course, Treasury's responsibilities far beyond crypto. So what is the new Janet Yellen, the new Treasury Secretary, what's his position on all things like monetary policy and financial status of the U.S.? And this is Raoul Paul's take. Scott Bessent, the new Treasury Secretary, is in favor of a weaker dollar and lower oil prices to drive U.S. and global growth. Okay. That is all you need to know.
That sounds like inflation and put money in the stock market and buy assets. That's what that sounds like to me.
Well, Raoul Paul says, TLDR, Scott is good for your bags. He comes out and says, I've known him for a decade and he gets it. So there you go. That's the new Treasury Secretary selection.
All right. Not done with Trump yet. Trump Media files a trademark for TruthFi. They want a trademark for computer software for use as a digital wallet, payment for processing crypto, fiat, and trading in digital assets. And it also mentions that it wants to cover market analysis data and statistics for financial research and financial custody services, like maintaining possession of financial assets for others for financial management purposes. So this is TruthFi. This is the TruthFi trademark. So these are potentially the things that World Liberty Financial is getting into. So there's your alpha from that trademark.
Well, that's this is actually different than World Liberty Financial, David. So this is from the
this is for
the Truth Social.
The Truth Social. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
He's
it's still
also
in the Trump
getting
empire,
into Truth Social.
Yep. Very much.
TruthFi.
Yeah,
is he going after like a Polymarket kind of copycat thing?
I don't know. I mean, he's just doing it's a trademark.
SocialFi, TruthFi.
Who knows? But it's separate. But the news on the week for World Liberty Financial.
He's trying to do an X Polymarket. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows? He's trying to do more in crypto, or they are.
Sure.
The Trump empire is. Speaking of that, so this is your lordship, Justin Sun, who's tweeting this out. We are thrilled to invest $30 million in World Liberty Financial as its largest investor. The U.S. is becoming the blockchain hub, and Bitcoin owes it to Donald Trump. Tron is committed to making America great again, leading innovation. Let's go. It's like not one to miss an opportunity.
Not to be outdone. Not to be
grift
forgotten.
his way into power. Sorry, Justin. Hopefully you don't drop a lawsuit on me. I mean, this is... Caitlyn Jenner,
did I tell you they wanted to sponsor the Bankless Summit?
Did they really? I bet they did.
They reached out to me and I was like, I don't think that's appropriate, guys. Sorry.
Caitlyn Jenner replied to Justin Sun's tweet and said something to the effect of, great move to Justin Sun. So Justin Sun is always one to try to buy legitimacy. You know what I mean? So
inject
this
himself,
is an attempt to do that, I'm sure. By the way, he also named as an advisor. I should have mentioned that. That was the news.
I think if you donate, how much millions of dollars?
It's not a donation. It's investment.
Excuse me.
My
if
friend.
You invest $30 million, he might be able to finagle his way into becoming an advisor.
Oh, boy, I gotta admit, I don't love all of this. No, I'll just put that out there. It's definitely a little bit of a pay-to-play type game over there in DC.
Yeah, I mean, is this what it costs to win as much as we're winning? We're winning quite a lot. We're winning quite a lot. Is this what the pound of flesh that it takes?
Well, speaking of that, you know the guy that we were just talking about, Howard Lutnick, who was elected as Secretary of Commerce, right? He was in the running for Treasury, didn't get that, but he's Secretary of Commerce. So he is from Cantor Fitzgerald. It was reported this week that Cantor Fitzgerald has acquired a 5% stake in Tether for up to $600 million. You know what? So you know what this is.
I didn't know Tether was like, I mean, I guess everything is available for the right price to the right buyer.
Well, it's interesting because like what this gives Tether is basically, in my opinion, just reading between the lines here, that this gives them insurance that the U.S. government's not going to come after them, right? You have the Secretary of Treasury, Cantor Fitzgerald, they now own 5%. You know, Cantor Fitzgerald gets to somewhat front run the opportunity around stablecoins because now they own a portion of Tether, you know, so that's the way it's played, I guess. So you tell me if this is the cost of doing business over in DC.
I like this one. This is okay with me.
It's like one thing I will say, now that it feels like we've won this kind of battle, I feel like we're almost setting up the lines for the next war. Like crypto has very clearly, at least corporate crypto, has infiltrated DC. And so I think the good part of that is I don't think crypto will ever face existential risk in the US again. I just don't think so. It's already become too powerful. And so I think we can celebrate this win because the previous regime was trying to choke off crypto in the US, right? It really was. Like we had to do something. But now I'm a little more wary of like this new class of crypto banking elite that could slowly try to close the door on the bankless type things that we care so much about. Yeah. And I'm already seeing
the people that protected us and like advocated for us turn into the banks that become too big to fail, or
regulatory capture, baby.
Regulatory capture. Yeah. Like I could totally see it. I could totally see it. Like this is what I'm saying. This is what it costs in order to get out of the hole that we got into in 2022 and 2023. Now we're out of that hole. And now we're like, hey, Coinbase is great. They're aligned with our interests.
Don't become evil. Don't become evil, everybody.
But Coinbase is a bank incentivized by the shareholder model, which we did an entire year of podcasts about the toxic relationship of the shareholder equity model, and why tokens and DAOs are better. I mean, like that. We've seen this movie before.
Yeah. So just eyes wide open. I mean, let's celebrate this win, but like, let's also remember we're not totally free. The mission's not complete until we're bankless and have the right and the ability to go bankless.
Yes.
Speaking of that, okay, so it is Thanksgiving. We open with this. Do you know today, bankless listener, you're hearing this on Black Friday, which is a holiday in the U.S. where everything is discounted if you're international. And so bankless citizenship has also been discounted. This is the best deal we've ever offered. I think previous Black Fridays, we've done like 30% discounts. Right now, you can get a bankless citizenship on a yearly basis for a 40% discount.
40% off, yeah.
What does this get you, David?
You can listen to this podcast as you have, ad-free, forever. Well, for 1 year. 40% off. You can also get into our Discord and come and hang out with us. You can get the Token Hub. You can get the Airdrop Hunter. There you can get bankless claimables. There are a bunch of things all in this package. Something that we have is definitely fit for you. The debrief episodes, people have told me, Ryan, that sometimes they skip the Monday episodes and they just listen to the debriefs to the Monday episods because they enjoy those more. So if you want the extra podcast content that we put out on the premium feed that doesn't make it to the free feed, you can get that as well. Did I miss anything?
I only listen on Bankless Premium now. I don't know. I listen to your episodes. I listen to your episodes.
I record the ads. I don't need to listen to them.
You don't want to listen to the other feed. Anyway, that is available for you guys right now. There's a link in the show notes, and it's a Black Friday only deal. So make sure you do it now before it expires. All right, let's close this out. David, do you believe in top signals, my friend? Because I feel like we're starting to get into that territory.
Dude, I remember seeing a year of top signals all throughout 2021, and at no point in time did any of them actually cause. The only actual signal was the Fed reversal of interest rates.
Okay, well, tell me
all
if
of the top signals of 2021 did not create a top.
Hawk to a Girl. Tell me if this alarms you. Hawk to a Girl is apparently launching a meme coin.
Yeah.
And mentioned it in an podcast episode with Mark Cuban. I'm giving meme coin and NFT communities 100 free plus whitelists each. Who should I pick? Hawk Tua with a meme coin. Is that not a top signal?
No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
See, that's the problem with top signals. Once they come, you're so like,
I'm so
enamored by the bull
desensitized
market.
to them. Like we saw a year of top signals in 2021. So like what I think you can do, and this is why I think it was last week that I said this, is maybe 2 weeks ago, start the sell clock.
Okay.
Like you're gonna be hammered with sell signals for the next year. And so they're like, the clock has started.
You're not bull market drunk yet, but you're one,
Definitely
like
not.
maybe you're one beer in.
We're taking, I don't know. Maybe you're one beer in. I'm definitely 2 or 3.
Okay, so you gotta have your plan, gotta have your designated driver. And this was one in more sober times. I actually tweeted out. This is from March 1st of this year. I said, let's agree in advance. The minute we see a crypto project on the Las Vegas Sphere, we sell it all.
Yeah.
Okay, on the Sphere. So, and I saw this week, David. There's apparently Bonk, Solana Memecoin Bonk, is maybe teasing a Vegas Sphere ad that might be coming.
Wait, they're finally doing this?
It might be coming. So I'm just saying, in
Hilarious.
very sober times, I said that. And if we actually see a meme coin on the Vegas Sphere, it doesn't mean good things.
But are you actually going to sell, though? Are you actually going to do it? Because you can talk about doing it, but actually doing it is a different story.
Yeah, actually doing it is hard.
Okay, there is something to note about all people who maybe have not gone through their first complete bull market. Okay. I will not count. If you came into 2021, you are the class of 2021. I do not count as you having seen an entire bull market. In order to have seen an entire bull market, you would need to have been in at the very beginning, which started in 2020.
All right.
Practice pressing the sell button. Everyone wants to hold on to their crypto as long and as hard as possible, because that's we create FOMO.
Sure.
When you have a material amount of money, practice hitting the sell button.
Just practice.
Put that into USDC. Send
Sell a little bit.
Send it to KRAKEN. Send it to your bank account. Practice pressing the sell button and then putting the money in your bank account. Just
Change those neurons in your brain.
You don't have to do a lot, but you do need to make sure that your psyche is aware that that is an option.
It's an
option. That you need to carve that behavior. And
it's real money.
It's real money. It's not real until it's in your bank account.
Wait. This is a Bankless podcast. What are you saying?
I still have a bank account.
Sell to fiat sometimes, right? For your daily. Also sell to a denominator that you appreciate. For me, that's Ether. It still continues to be, against maybe the impulses of the bull markets. For some people, it's Bitcoin. So that's kind of the long-term storage stash.
Yes. But if you are thinking about all of these like Lambos that you want to buy or this house that you want to buy, if you're going to buy a house, you need to have cash in your bank account. And so you have to get cash in your bank account in order to do that. And so like this is how you don't F up a bull market and like round trip it and have to wait for the next one, because then you just become a bear market. Like, then it just sucks. Like we have seen this movie before. Everyone does this. And so get into that mental space now.
I don't know, guys. It felt like David was talking to himself a little bit. In that speech. Very good. Well, and with this, of course, as we usually do, got to let you know that crypto is risky. You could lose what you put in, but we are headed west. This is the frontier. It's not for everyone, but we're glad you're with us on the Bankless journey. Thanks a lot.